Yes. So welcome again to this session, Start Talk Series. Start Talk Series ni adalah satu session yang mana kita adakan untuk berkongsi, untuk share L&D, learning and development, whatever that we can improve further in our learning and development elements. So before this, apa yang kita buat ialah saya dah buat beberapa Start Talk series. This is the first series that I've done, boosting business results. Dalam boosting business results ni adalah beberapa perkara berkenaan dengan basic of the key of effective training. Yang ini juga ada diletakkan di dalam saya punya YouTube. Jadi saya akan typekan di dalam ruangan chat. Kalau tuan-tuan nak perempuan untuk save link YouTube saya untuk boosting business results, ada di dalam ruangan chat. Yang kedua, session yang saya juga telah buatkan ialah Unleashing Potential, the Power of Training Needs Analysis. Ini juga adalah satu sesi. Semua sesi ini adalah dalam konteks micro-learning. Micro-learning tu bermaksud short video, short learning session. Jadi only 1 hour. So ini juga ada YouTube video yang saya telah upload. So siapa yang nak upload, nak tengok kemudian, boleh dipersilakan untuk tengok YouTube video saya yang seterusnya. Okay, now hari ini adalah hari yang kita akan tengok the next session. Jadi harap-harap kita semua dah ready. Harap-harap kita semua dah ready untuk bersama-sama dalam sesi seterusnya yang dinamakan sebagai apa yang kita lihat tentang asking the right questions, a guide to strategic training needs analysis. So ini adalah tentang satu topik yang saya fikirkan sangat penting bagi semua L&D, because bila kita buat satu-satu training ataupun bila kita buat TNA, training needs analysis, bukan hanya sekadar satu proses. Ia memerlukan satu komitmen daripada kita semua untuk mendapatkan inputs to do it strategically. Kalau kita just for the sake of doing or completing the task of TNA, yang itu kita boleh buat. Tapi apabila kita buat just for the sake of TNA, apa yang berlaku, hasil yang kita dapat tu hanya sekadar list of training programs. So sekarang ni kita nak tengok macam mana cara dia untuk kita lihat dengan TNA ni kita boleh buat itu lebih strategik. Jadi sebab tu tajuk yang kita buat pada hari ini adalah asking the right questions. It's about getting involved. L&D ni getting involved, and to make sure that whatever that we do kat dalam kita punya L&D arena ataupun skill ni adalah something that is contribute to the business results. Itu penting. Bukan hanya sekadar just to extract and to execute kita punya training funds. Kita tahu kita ada training funds daripada HRDC dan pelbagai kan. Macam mana untuk kita tengok supaya kita boleh dan juga mampu untuk buat. Jadi sebab tu berdasarkan kepada apa yang kita boleh tengok pada hari ini, itu yang kita akan cuba explore, itu yang kita akan cuba tengok, dan apakah dia soalan-soalan yang sesuai. So saya bukan nak berkongsi tentang soalan. I think you can also check about the question. Tapi sebelum tu saya rasa mungkin ada di antara yang ada dekat sini mungkin belum kenal saya, maaf. Saya terus jump to the contents. Kalau siapa yang belum kenal, I think might be some of you yang kita baru kenal. Salam perkenalan, nama saya Ahmad Zulkarnain. Boleh panggil saya Zul daripada di Arabian University of Automotive Malaysia, Pekan Pahang. Sebagai CD Head di Technical Training Institute, ada beberapa experience dekat dalam training, learning and development, talent management. Before that, I'm in Post Malaysia Berhad, Head of Human Capital Development, Managing Post Center of Development dekat Pagi. Dan dalam area training ni lebih kurang dalam dalam maybe 20 years plus. So adalah sedikit exchange of ideas yang kita boleh kongsikan, and doing basics of training until the some sort of advance of training juga kita dah pernah lakukan, kita dah pernah lalui. So that's a little bit about myself. I think you can nanti kita akan share juga slide ni. You can, kalau nak explore lagi, tengok macam mana caranya. So, ladies and gentlemen, hari ini kita ada five agenda. Actually, there are three yang paling critical. Kita ada sedikit introduction on asking the right questions. Okay, itu satu part. Kemudian kita ada unlocking talent in L&D. Lepas tu transacting in L&D and digital first L&D. So tiga perkara ni adalah bersekitar kepada how we want to ask questions and how can we make our TNA strategic. And also last sekali adalah kita punya conclusion tentang apa yang kita akan lihat. So our session is about 1 hour, 1 jam sahaja, tak panjang. And also if you want to ask question, boleh selepas daripada ni, ataupun you want to ask me through any channel of communication juga boleh. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this session asking the right question. So by the end of this session, sebenarnya kita nak explore our curiosity, our insightful, dan juga macam kita nak cuba jadikan, nak cari do some questioning and ask our team, ask our people on how they can support and also introduce a better learning and development interventions. Jadi bukan hanya getting them to fill in the form, we want them also to be involved. Kita nak mereka tu terlibat secara langsung ke dalam apa yang kita ada buat pada ketika ini. I've done some poll, tapi ada sedikit masalah poll saya pada hari ini. Jadi saya tak dapat nak buat poll tersebut. Saya akan terus masuk kepada the pertinent aspect of questioning. Jadi bila kita buat TNA, most of the time apa yang kita lakukan ialah kita kebanyakan daripada kita berikan senarai training program dan mereka tick mana satu training program yang mereka nak attend. So now we would like to propose to you to change that method. Tukar sedikit method tersebut untuk menjadikan you have an engagement session, you have also engagement and also a dialogue session with somebody, with your people in your organization. So contoh dia, bila kita nak completekan TNA, I would like to propose that you might, as head of L&D or L&D, you might go into meeting the heads of department or heads of division. Jumpa mereka because they are their stakeholders. Ingat, session pertama, session kedua saya dah cerita pasal stakeholders buy-in ni. Jumpa mereka so that they understand that the importance of getting the right training programs, so that the right training programs will contribute to the business results. Jadi isu training program ni, tuan-tuan dan puan, to get a better perspective of a training program ialah our training program that we introduce in our organization should contribute towards the successful of our business results. So let's say lah, kalau kita punya business results for this particular year is to achieve $10 million of revenue. So part of the contribution of that particular revenue is coming from the skill and also competencies of our people. So once our people is has that the right competencies, so they are going to push that business results towards achieving the right direction. So itu pentingnya sebenarnya untuk kita lihat kenapa kita perlu betul-betul melihat kepada our trading needs analysis processes. If you want to explore about TNA, kita ada satu separate training session, nanti di ujung nanti saya akan share. If you want a glimpse ataupun an overview of something what I've mentioned today, sebab saya tak nak sentuh pasal proses TNA lagi, sebab because I've touched that basis last session dan last 2 sessions. Dah ada beberapa yang saya touch kan. So question and answer is very important. However, ladies and gentlemen, sebelum kita berjumpa dengan heads of department, kita tak boleh buat-buat senyap. Kita tak boleh buat-buat senyap. Kita tak boleh buat sesuatu tu hanya sekadar diam dan tidak proaktif. We need to be proactive and we need to ask question. Tapi sebelum kita ask question, we need to do something. Kita kena buat sesuatu. We need to prepare ourselves. bukan sekadar untuk tuan-tuan dan perempuan um, Google question. Itu banyak. Nanti actually saya akan bagi pun lepas benda ni. Soalan-soalan tu banyak saja kalau tuan-tuan dan perempuan nak cari. Tapi yang paling penting, before meeting people, you need to prepare yourself. Okay, apa dia? Apa dia yang kita nak prepare? There are 4 things that I would like to propose to you to prepare. Ada 4 perkara. 4 perkara tersebut adalah, yang pertama sekali is to identify the objectives for you to meet the head of department or employees about TNA. Is it skills development? Is it performance improvement? Or is it about achieving the new process, understanding implementation of new culture program? So you need to identify the objective. So you need to also be inside the strategic business portion. You need to understand the direction of your business supaya kita tahu bahawa we are supporting our business and this is our way, which is our way is to introduce learning and development interventions. Kenapa kita kena faham? Because we are no longer part of administrative. Training or learning and development is no longer part of administrative. You are part of the strategic business process. You are part of the strategic business support as well. So kena tahu this year kita nak capai apa ataupun next year kita nak capai apa. Let's say this is already September, dah dekat dengan hujung kan. So maknanya we are supposed to start preparing our TNA processes now. Kenapa? Because we need to get the approval for training calendar ke ataupun our annual training plan. We should be able to complete our TNA and submit for approval at least minimum before 3 to 4 weeks before the end of December. Kenapa? Because January sepatutnya dah start. Janganlah tunggu sampai January baru kita nak buat kan. So bila kita join January kita start kan. Kita terus launch kita punya training needs analysis, kita terus launch kita punya annual training plan. Bukan tunggu-tunggu lagi. Kalau kita tunggu sahaja tak guna. We need to identify that first. Okay, yang kedua, know your audience. You know your people best. You know your people best. Bila kita jumpa dengan kita punya heads of division, heads of department, we need to tailor the questions to their roles and also their needs. Kena tengok kepada peranan mereka. And number 3 is about question design. So question design ni, ladies and gentlemen, is about bahasa mudah dia, you need to have an open-ended question. Kalau you ada close-ended question. So apa beza? I think saya tak nak elaborate pasal question. Kalau open-ended question, you are going to give an opportunity for people to answer freely, bebas, buka, open. Kalau close-ended question, dia punya soalan is that eventually dia akan kata yes or no, left or right, good or bad. Itu saja. So it's not going to contribute any inputs to you. So open-ended question. And paling penting sekali, let us go into competency focused question. Tengok kepada kompetensi yang diperlukan di dalam organisation kita. So number 4, our own preparation is before doing this meeting our heads of division, meeting our employees, is to do the pilot test. Do the pilot test. Ask the quality questions to your team. Ask the question to your people, to your friends. Do they understand that question? Dia faham tak soalan-soalan tu? So these are 4 things that we need to be prepared before meeting our heads of division. So macam mana caranya? Sebab bila kita nak jumpa, this, as I've mentioned to you, this is already in September, dah dekat hujung lah pun September, nanti nak masuk Oktober. If you don't prepare anything, nanti tiba-tiba je dah sampai December. And time tu kelang kabut nak buat TNA. Jangan. You have a sufficient fund of training for you to implement in year 2024. You need to plan from now. So this what we are doing for the past of several talk series is to share with you, to give some ideas. However, whether we are giving you good ideas or whether we are giving maybe some normal ideas, any ideas that we are giving to you or sharing with you, the main person that is going to do is you. Jadi bukan kita. So that's why use variety of question. Gunalah Likert scale ke, multiple choice ke, open ended. And this question should align with the business objectives and also the KPIs of the organization. Tengok balik KPI tu. All heads of department should already understand and well versed. Dia well aware, well versed and well informed what they are going to achieve in year 2024. So if they are not clear with what they are going to achieve in year 2024, tu masalah tu. Masalah yang sangat besar bila dia tak tahu apa yang dia nak capai. Kalau head of division tak tahu apa nak capai, apatah lagi yang orang-orang lain. Macam mana dia nak tahu kan? Dia tak jelas. So the heads needs to know first. So our proposal to you is that nampak kan angle saya ni banyak pergi kepada heads of division dulu tau. It is not worth ataupun mungkin terlalu tedious if you want to meet all employees. Memang tak mungkin lah kan. So you need to grab to hold these heads of division, heads of department dulu. Set je lah meeting dengan dia kan. Cik Ahmad, saya nak jumpa Cik Ahmad. I want to meet you to explore on our training needs analysis. We want to get your feedback. We want to get your expertise. So itulah antara angle yang kita ada. So dia akan rasa dihargai and important for the process. Jadi bukan hanya minta saja kan. Nanti benda tu sama je. All the years you are doing the same things all over again and you are expecting different results. Kan? Rugi. Insanity, the theory of insanity. So, by looking at that, the first portion of it is to look into this unlocking talent in L&D. Okay, unlocking talent in L&D. Number one, our proposal to you is that look into competency-based inquiries. Maksud competency-based inquiries ni bukan hanya sekadar soalan, do you want to attend this training, what training do you want to attend, bukan soalan-soalan tu, because it's like you are a chef. Umpama macam kita ni adalah chef tukang masak, kita nak masukkan semua rempah ratus yang paling hebat, yang paling sedap, dan yang menjadi daging dan juga bahan-bahan yang paling penting tu L&D lah. Without L&D pushing the meat inside the people, dia jadi orang yang kurus, yang jalan terhoyong-hayang, kena tiup angin pun dah goyang-goyang. So kita ni memasukkan elemen-elemen protein, bina badan, masukkan elemen protein dekat dalam badan dia, so that kita ada the right ingredients of people to carry out. So kita cuba ambil contoh sebagai chef lah kan. Kalau kita ambil chef, apa yang kita nak buat ialah kita mesti masukkan elemen-elemen yang bersesuaian, elemen-elemen yang penting for employee needs. Jadi bila kita sebut pasal kompetensi ni, ladies and gentlemen, we are saying that asking the right questions adalah to gauge the skills, knowledge and also behaviors that are the key to job performance. Kita melihat kepada job performance dia. They are attending any learning interventions is to improve their job performance. It's not only just for attending training kalau pergi kat hotel so nak makan kan, bukan. It's about improving the job performance. So soalan-soalan yang kita nak tanya pada dia is not about how are you, do you like your job, itu bukan soalan-soalan yang kita nak tanya. No, it's about getting your strategic questions to aim on the understanding of people in their improving their performance. Macam mana cara mereka dapat improve performance masing-masing. Kalau sebagai master chef, so we need to be the expert of this ingredient. Tapi kita ada banyak ingredient. Kita ada tepung, ada bawang, ada apa lagi? Ada gula, ada macam-macam barang yang kita ada untuk kita masak kan. Macam mana saya pandai sangat masak? Memang pandai pun. Tanya Wan Aida kan. So kalau kita masukkan semua tu serentak, entah apa-apa dia jadi kan. So you need to also get some experts. Tanya heads of division, heads of department apa yang dia nak, so you can put in that together. And you also as L&D can do some challenge question. Tanyalah soalan-soalan yang menarik, soalan-soalan yang strategik. Because without asking the right question, you are not going to get the right inputs. So that is why soalan ni adalah sama seperti mana kita kalau kita sebagai seorang chef, so we are putting the right ingredients into our yang dalam proses untuk kita siapkan makanan. So I'm sharing with you 3 questions. Saya share dengan 3 soalan, nanti I'm going to share with you I think 15 question ke 50 question on this. Jadi it does not matter about the question. The most important part is that to understand why we ask this question. So contoh soalan yang pertama, kan? This is one question, and this is about competency based. Can you identify the top 3 competencies crucial for the success of your division that may require further training? So soalan ni sebenarnya ada why this question kan. Soalan ni sebenarnya untuk kita lihat heads of division ni dia tahu tak sebenarnya apakah kompetensi yang diperlukan untuk dia punya staff. Sebab along the process, semua head division ni dia along the process dia menjadi seorang head of division, dia dah accumulate certain number of competencies. Dia dah accumulate, dia dah learn, dia dah belajar banyak kompetensi yang ada. So sebab tu dia jadi head. Sebab tu dia berada di situ, and dia bukanlah expert in all areas. So jadi bila dia menjadi seorang head, ada beberapa area-area yang dia tidak expert. Jadi team dia yang kena support. So the question aims to understand what the heads of division ni nampak tak skills dan juga abilities of dia punya team untuk perform. Kalau heads of division ni masih lagi tak dapat nak faham ataupun tak tahu, so there are gap. Ada gap pula pada heads of division ni. Dia mungkin tahu kerja dia, tapi dia mungkin tidak berapa well versed in managing the people. Jadi by asking this question, you are going to extract top 3 competencies. So daripada competencies tu, you can bila kita tahu competencies, you can develop competencies dictionary, competencies behavioral indicators. You can also map the competencies and also identify the gap and propose learning interventions. So learning interventions ni boleh jadi dalam bentuk training, boleh jadi dalam bentuk coaching, mentoring dan juga sebagainya. Banyak lagi. So itulah dia the first question that we are looking at. Ini juga salah satu daripada soalan which we are looking into. Okay. Kita tengok kepada soalan-soalan yang ini. Saya minta ke sini. Itu dia. Okay. How well do you think the current training programs address these key competencies on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not at all and 5 being very well? Ini juga salah satu daripada skill questioning. Giving a Likert scale daripada 1 sampai 5. Kalau if you prefer not to have central tendency, you can use 1 to 6, kan? 1 hingga 6. Jadi dia tak boleh nak letak dekat tengah-tengah. Kadang-kadang nak jalan mudah letak tengah saja. So we want that weightage. Sama ada 3 atau 4. Kalau kita tengok 4, maknanya dia skewed towards higher end. Jadi by using Likert scale also you can also gauge the effectiveness of the existing training. Soalan yang tak patut kita tanya ialah okey ke training tu? Tanya soalan okey ke, jawapannya okey lah kan. Bila jawab jawapan okey ke, terus kita pun hanyut. Kita tak tahu mana apa sebenarnya kita nak buat. So kita kena tanya soalan supaya kita dapat feedback and also improve. Yang paling penting sekali, tuan-tuan dan puan, dengan soalan ni, it also explain about how it aligns with the business objective. Kita nak tengok this training programs ni align tak dengan business objective. Kalau dia rasa training yang di-attend yang dah lepas tu tidak memberi inputs dan juga impact, so dia kata mungkin maybe 1. So that's the indicator that you are not going to proceed anymore on that. So masa bila kita nak gunakan soalan ni? Masa bila kita nak guna, this is a good follow-up question after identifying key competencies. Jadi kita dah tanya competencies tadi kan? Dah tanya, kemudian dia akan bagi tahu beberapa competencies and then they have done some training programs and you can see and identify adakah training program itu bagus ataupun tidak. So another one about competency base. About competency base is ini satu soalan yang memberi senario. If you could instantly improve one aspect of your team's performance through training, what would it be? Kan? Bagus kan soalan ni? It's not only just merely putting question, but you are giving a scenario for the heads of division. You tanya dia, kalau ada satu benda yang to improve, kenapa bukan 2-3 benda? Tak payah banyak. Sebab banyak-banyak nanti dia pening. Bukan pening, dia tak dapat nak bagi jawapan yang tepat. So dia bagi open-ended question. The purpose of this particular question is to prioritize, menyusun keutamaan training. How it aligns with business objective, sejauh mana satu yang perlu didahulukan. Because we have a certain number of fund. Kita tak boleh nak buat semua training. Kalau kita ada, kalau let's say we have 1 million training ataupun fund of training fund. If you request all the training programs from all people, nanti they are going to request everything. Tentang sampai 30 million pun dia request. So you need to also prioritize. This is one of the questions that you can use as to prioritize. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, looking at these competency-based questions is very critical and very important for you to form this question so that you can identify each department what are their competencies required. So angle dia adalah competencies ni. Maknanya we know person A, person B, person C, but they have different competencies or might similarly competencies. That's number one. Number two, they have different competencies gap. So when you base on competencies, you are going to get the closer interventions that can support the business. Sebab before the heads of division establish the competencies, that competencies should be based on what are the competencies required to support the business. So it reflects the business. So ladies and gentlemen, this is number one. Number one is about competency base. And number two, the questions that related to trend setting in L&D, aligning training to trends. Aligning training to trends. Jadi trends yang kita ada ni dekat dalam L&D ni, I need to share with you because we need to be like a surfer. Surfer tahu surfer? Surfer is like this. Orang yang surfing dekat air kan. Kita kena, kalau surfing ni, we need to look into big waves. Barulah kita boleh surf. Kalau kita just sekadar air biasa, kita tak boleh nak surf pun, gerak atas air macam tu je kan. So you need to look into the big waves. To catch the waves, you need to be in the right place at the right time. You cannot just looking into that wave and just masuk terus kan. You need to find the right way and the right time, baru you boleh dapat seperti mana dalam video ni. So looking at that, we are also looking into how can we align with the L&D service. Wave-wave yang ada dalam L&D ni, macam mana untuk kita masuk dalam L&D punya wave. Kita ada macam-macam cara untuk kita identify. We need to read industry reports, white papers, ada macam-macam cara lagi. However, whatever that we do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to look into, as L&D professionals, we need to bring ourselves to stay up to the trend and to the latest trend in the industry. Jadi trends ni ada banyak. Trends that related to current world of work, technology, businesses. I think many people are doing conferences untuk seminars or workshops is to update the trends. So it's about much more than flashy product. Kita bukan hanya sekadar tengok buzzword, teknologi, AI, but we need to also look into our capability of our people and match with the trend. So kita tak naklah looking into the trends, kita ketinggalan zaman kan. Kenapa tak nak ketinggalan? Because once we are back of people, people are going to go ahead of us. We are not going to be able to make ourselves competitive. The world is very competitive right now. Kalau sesiapa yang tidak alert with the trends, they are going to move out or left out. So there are some ways on how you can also look into this. Some of the L&D trends that I want to I would like to share with you. These are some of the top L&D trends in 2023. You can also look into trainingindustry.com. Ada banyak ni reference yang saya jumpa. Number one is about AI-based learning experiences. It is not just ChatGPT, bukan. There are many more things about AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence ni is like, for me, I treat artificial intelligence is like my buddy. Macam saya punya kawan lah. I have another buddy, ada seorang lagi kawan, which I want to ask question, I want to check with them, get some inputs, feedback. But kawan is not, because he's a robot, it's artificial intelligence. Apa yang kita bagi tahu dia, dia takkan lupa macam manusia. So they are going to be in their position. They are going to be intelligence as long as they are being trained for that particular areas. So AI-based learning experience is very, very critical. Kalau kita ni dekat dalam L&D, there is, for me, there is no reason, actually there is no reason anymore for us to say that I don't know to do things. There are abundance of information, ladies and gentlemen. Banyak information yang ada. Kan? Janganlah sampai kita rasa macam tak boleh nak buat sesuatu. Jadi macam mana? Jadi tak boleh buat apa-apa. Mana ada. There are abundance of information, ladies and gentlemen. Many sources. Apa yang saya cakap pada hari ini, you can search actually. However, I'm blending my exposure and experience together with what I'm sharing with you today. So now, number 2 is about blended learning. Having blended learning is a thing that is people are looking at. Not only about getting people attending training face-to-face, also using online and maybe paperless or paperless blended learning. Learning in the flow of work, they are now integrating learning into the daily work routine. So bukan sekarang ni, bukan hanya attend training and then apply in few weeks or few days, tak. Attending the training, immediately apply. This approach will help learners to apply what they have learned immediately. So we need to think what are the ways that we can design and develop our program so that once they have completed that training program, immediately they can implement and apply. So this is another one. And number 4 is about custom e-learning. There is no more generic e-learning. We need to push our programs to custom e-learning. People are learning through online, through e-learning. Make sure that the design of our platform is updated and very nice being designed. There is no choice. Dah tak ada pilihan because people are looking at the screen. Memang perlu ada design-design cantik. So you need to find ways on custom e-learning. This is another one is about extended reality. Cerita pasal extended reality ni ada banyak lah kita tengok. Either virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. Kita juga ada this extended reality can create immersive learning experiences that simulate real world scenarios. So they are looking into not people not attending the training physically, but they can look and feel as if they are attending the training. Another one is about number 6 is user-generated content, which we push that particular content created by users such as the employees, and it promotes knowledge management. Kita ni tak nak orang keluar daripada organisation and they are bringing their knowledge together. We want them also to share inside this. So this is macam yang saya buat sekarang ni is user-generated content. I'm doing this for you to share with you so that my knowledge is not going to go wastefully kan, tanpa dimanfaatkan. So I hope that whatever that we are sharing today is something that can be beneficial for you and to bring your L&D to another level. So that is why this is being done strategically. So some of the questions that you may want to consider, this is some of the questions about what emerging trends, ini nak, the questions that you can ask the heads of division, heads of department, and might be some of the employees for you to identify. What emerging trends in our industry do you believe will most impact the competencies required in your division? So looking into their own specific division. Let's say lah kita ambil satu division uh, yang paling dekat dengan training adalah human resource kan, human capital. So kita ambil lah human capital. So look into our own human capital people right now. What emerging trends in our industry, whatever industry are you in, do you believe what emerging trends that are related to competencies? So soalan ni adalah to identify the industry trends, and you as L&D will have the exposure and understanding about what are the current trends for that particular division. And the best part is that you know that competencies or the trends for this specific division and for the specific company and for the specific industry. Menarik tu. So that you can design it accordingly. So find ways on that. So that is why this question is being promoted, and I propose this question is to identify this, to the skill and competencies yang penting to that particular division. Another question is about there specific skills that we are currently not focusing on but should be given these emerging trends. So soalan ni nampak macam close-ended, tapi dekat depan tu tengok there. Maknanya kita open dia supaya ada tak yang lain-lain lagi, ada tak lagi. Ada specific skills dan kita fokus kepada skills yang lihat kepada emerging trends. So this particular question is to see the gap, untuk tengok gap. The current competencies in that particular division and the trends, the industry, ada gap tak? How well prepared do you think your team is to adapt to these trends? So dia dah share tentang trends yang berada dalam industri dia ataupun division on a scale of 1 to 5. So ini dia menggunakan Likert scale juga, 1 to 5. 1 being not prepared at all, 5 being very prepared. So soalan ni akan to give some illustration and explanation about that particular division, whether they are prepared towards the trend. Kalau dia jauh daripada trend of the industry, jauh sangat daripada industri, soalan-soalan begini will identify that you may want to consider more knowledge sharing session, more up-to-date trends, internalization. Mungkin ini adalah antara interventions yang kita boleh buat, rather than just for the sake of training, just for the sake of doing training. So you can also consider to do that. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the trends yang following the trends. So by looking at this, number one, kita tanya competency based inquiries. Number two is looking into the trend setting of L&D, looking into the industry of your organization, of your company. Apa dia trend yang sekarang for that particular division? So you can identify that. And you can improve on the learning L&D interventions, maybe training, maybe coaching, maybe mentoring. So that's the second part. And the last proposal from me about asking question is about looking into digital first L&D. So this digital transformation in L&D, kan? How many of you yang pernah tengok ini? Siapa yang pernah tengok ni? Cuba tulis satu dekat dalam your chat box. Siapa pernah tengok ni? Kalau tak pernah tengok, tekan 2. Apa nama Apa nama benda ni? Tu yang keluar tu.
Disket.
Disket. Oh, ini memang sama-sama umur ni. Floppy disk, thank you. Yes, ini adalah floppy disk. Siapa yang tak pernah tengok ni memang gen millennial lah kan. So, Zaman-zaman sekarang dah tak ada dah floppy disk ni. Semua dah sekarang ni kalau tengok movie pun kan, tak nak tengok kat pengwayang, dia boleh tengok kat Netflix. Dia boleh tengok kat Disney Hotstar. Ada macam-macam digital transformation yang kita boleh tengok dekat dalam current technology. So, are we going to live ataupun hidup with our own world? Kan, otai sangat ni dia sikit. We're not going to live in our own world. We need to improve and move further. So that is why looking into that, some of the elements that we can see, contoh macam ni kan, ni adalah quick virtual reality demo. When you learn and you are wearing this goggle in looking into the technology, ada beberapa learning center dekat Malaysia ni that are already in this virtual reality. I know maybe you are one of it. Mungkin your organisation is okay with that. Tapi banyak lagi organisasi yang tak ada ni. Termasuklah organisasi yang dekat-dekat dengan saya kan. Memang tak ada lagi elemen-elemen ni because they think that this is not important anymore yet, not important yet to be important, belum lagi kan. So let us look into this one video clip about AR and also VR. Maybe you can have some glimpse of what it is all about. Okay. Boleh tak? Ada iklan dah pula sekejap
23.
Okay, done.
Virtual reality and augmented reality.
Kejap,
They
ya.
kind of sound like something you need a drug counselor to get through, don't they? But in fact, they're the hottest two technologies going these days. Let's learn about them so we can compare and contrast what each of them does so they wow you instead of overwhelm you. Augmented reality is when you look at the real world, but it's augmented with additional information or graphics in your view. Now, key to this AR concept is that the things are indexed to a location. That means they occupy a relevant place in your view, as opposed to moving with your gaze as you turn your head. And in many cases, you can interact with those visuals that are augmenting your view. AR can be had via a phone and one of the many AR apps out there, or for higher performance, you use dedicated AR glasses. Know that AR is increasingly being referred to these days as MR, mixed reality. It's part marketing term and part acknowledgement of AR's ability to augment the real world while also bringing in unreal elements. Glasses that augment your view without being indexed to a location and space are better referred to as connected head-up displays. Now, Google Glass was the infamous standard bearer of that sector, but more recently, Vuzix has shown their pending Blade, an impressive set of head-mounted displays that include integration of Amazon Alexa to help you drive what's displayed via voice. Virtual reality is when the world you're standing in is replaced with a virtual one. With some of these, everything you see and everything you hear is replaced with something computer generated. Now, the world that takes you to can be very naturalistic, actually, or extremely synthetic and fantastic.
Okay. So that's some of the AR and also VR yang ada in the market, tapi sebenarnya lebih canggih dah sekarang. I think Apple pun dah introduce dia punya own AR VR punya glasses. Jadi by having this digital transformation and technologies is going to help L&D to move forward. Of course lah kan, kita tengok juga investment yang akan berlaku juga. So there's a cost and benefit elements that we need to explore and to look at. And I think you also know that currently people are not looking into normal cars right now. Kan, kita dah banyak lah kereta, and now electric cars already coming in. And imagine kalau lah kita masih lagi berfikir seperti mana a normal world, the past world, and now electric cars is already inside. Whatever the challenges that electric cars is currently facing in, it's now. Dah banyak orang pakai. Kan? Saya tak pakai lagi lah kan. It's about whether you afford it or not, and also now it's about the technology. Kalau dulu kita ingat maybe everything is about using petrol, now you can use electric, you can save cost dekat situ. Tapi sebenarnya you also incur cost on the battery and also the car. So looking into this digital technology in L&D, some question that you may want to consider in looking into it, what digital tools that might help you? What digital tools or technologies do you think that significantly enhance the performance and efficiency of your team? These elements is not just making or getting information, but also to understand the technology that is required for that particular division and department. Kalau kita tanya kepada people that is doing things, contoh kat manufacturing, they have the idea of getting technology insight and how they can learn better. So number two is about the second question that I'm proposing is that on a scale of 1 to 5, how digitally literate would you say your team? So ini sama juga menggunakan Likert scale to understand the current digital level. Mana-mana organisation pun, I think now they are using they have starting they have started the digital transformation initiative. Dah start dah. So you also can get this to align with the business results to identify the current digital level of that particular division. Apa dia yang diperlukan and we need to support it. And the last question is might be, are there any challenges or obstacles you foresee in implementing digital transformation? So this question is looking into the potential roadblocks or potential challenges in adapting to the new technologies. So bila kita tahu ada challenges, as L&D we need to do a proactive actions. You might want to start preparing your proposal, to start sourcing for the information of what are the current digital training programs. So you may want to consider that. For example, what we did before is that I've done the research on learning management system, learning experience platform since last 3 years. 3 years yang lepas dah do this research, meeting vendors, getting information, getting inputs and also outputs, and produce and propose. Baru sekarang kita dapat kita punya learning experience platform. So it take years. It take years for you to understand what are the digital transformation in L&D. So by doing that also, I strongly urge for all L&D practitioners inside here is to push yourself to have the interest, the high interest in looking into digital transformation in L&D. Apa dia yang boleh kita buat lagi? Apa yang kita boleh tengok lagi in term of our digital transformation? So now that's the overall, ladies and gentlemen, about L&D. We are looking into some conclusion over here. There are 3 things. When you want to ask question, there are 3 parts that we are proposing. Number 1 is to look into the competency base, which we unlock the talent in L&D. Number 2 is looking into trend setting in L&D. So number 1, for us to remember easily, unlocking talent ni macam kita jadi chef tu, kita masukkan all the ingredients. We need to have that competency based inquiries. Number 2 is about trend setting. Looking into the trend in L&D, digital or non-digital, apa sahaja trend-trends yang ada dekat dalam L&D, saya dah share tadi. Ada 6 saya dah share tentang trend setting. And number 3 is also jangan neglect, dan you need to start from now in term of digital first L&D. Looking into how good can we do our digital. We need to start from now, start looking into, do some research, attend any courses, looking into how LXP, LMS, how AR, VR can help our people, and cut, of course, whatever technology that we want to have is supposed to make our productivity increase. So kalau productivity kita menurun, maksudnya it is not a good technology that we want to embark. So look into that. So by having these questions, we can prepare ourselves for us to make to design our TNA more strategically. So ada beberapa sample questions that I'm going to share with you. After this particular session, you are going to get a survey. You can respond to that survey, and we are going to email you again these notes. Apa yang saya share pada hari ini, we are going to compile it. And also we are going to give to you 5 sample questions for you if you want to ask employees to develop strategic TNA. And we are also share with you 50 sample questions for you to ask heads of divisions to develop strategic TNA. So dalam sampel-sampel ni sebenarnya you can search it, boleh je cari. Tapi I'm doing my part to compile it and to at least to support your role in L&D. Lepas ni just do it whatever accordingly, mana yang sesuai ambil, mana yang tak sesuai tu you can benchmark. So dekat dalam soalan ni ada question, ada types of questions, category questions. Why these questions being asked? Tu yang paling penting. Saya selalu highlight. If you want to ask question, there must be a reason. There must be an objective for you to ask the question. How the question refer to business results? How these questions can attach to that particular business result, your business results, kan, company business result. Adakah dia akan support ataupun tidak? That question should support. Jadi and when to use it? I'm putting some sample bila you nak gunakan. So these are some sample questions that you can use for you to explore, look into it and get it. So soalan-soalan ni and also together with the notes kita akan berikan once you have responded to the survey yang ada. So nevertheless, if you have also high interest in exploring how you can improve your TNA, training needs analysis, we also have as usual, as I've mentioned before, we have these training programs, STAR program, Strategic Training Analysis for Remarkable Results in November. We are going to do it in KL. We are trying to find a better hotel for that. So this TNA program is for you to attend. I'm preparing this TNA is for you to prepare you for year 2024. Macam mana caranya untuk develop a strategic TNA. No longer administrative. Kita looking into strategic TNA and how it can improve the business results. Not just attending the training, but also to apply, and eventually at the end of this session, you are going to finalize your annual training plan. So it is a workshop base dan mudah-mudahan workshop base tersebut akan dapat membantu anda untuk menjadi seorang L&D yang lebih baik. So our next session this coming Friday, collaboration for success, how we can engage stakeholders in TNA, macam mana cara dia. This is more merely about collaboration, about communication, engagement. Maybe I'm going to share a bit of tips, tricks and techniques on how you can get some buy-in from your heads of department, heads of division, and also how you can also share this TNA to get the buy-in and getting the training funds accordingly. So that is what we are having today, asking the right questions, a guide to training needs analysis, and getting the people to be able to understand how we do things, how we can make our L&D practices strategically. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's already 12 p.m. I really appreciate your participation, attendance, although we don't have any much question. You can contact me at any point in time and we are going to keep in touch. I'm going to also upload this video to my YouTube. You can also observe and get it done. And I wish you greater success. Looking forward a better L&D practitioners and looking forward for you to be a better person every day, at least 1% positive changes every day. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. So I'm going to end this session. See you again. It's my pleasure.